Hello everybody, so in this video I'll be showing you how you can create a low poly well in ZBrush. So let's get started. Okay, so here I have loaded up my ZBrush with the sphere. So the first thing which we need to do is we need to turn off the Dynamesh. So we'll go under Geometry, Dynamesh, and we need to turn off this Dynamesh. Then I'm going to activate the gizmo. Let's go to IMM Primitive 14 brush, and I'm gonna click on this cylinder pipe, turn off the perspective, reset this, and if you press shift and then you rotate, it's going to rotate every 5 degrees. Let's make it over here. Right, so that's how you can just simply place this guy over here. Now let's activate our zmodeler brush over here. So right now you can see this is quite big, you can say, size. So let's scale it down. For this you need to hover your mouse over this face or any face, press spacebar, click on this Polygroup, and let's find this Polyloop and Polygroup. So just make sure that this orange line is going in this direction, and then you need to click. So you can see now we have this different polygroup over here. Hover your mouse over the face again, extrude, and click on, let's say, polygroup all. Extrude it, press shift and extrude it like this. Don't forget to press shift, and let's keep it around this much. Okay, so the next step is which we need to do is we need to do a bevel. So let's see. Okay, so symmetry is working from here. Okay, so next step is we need to just hover your mouse over the edge, spacebar, bevel, edge loop complete, everything's fine. Let's do this. Okay, so to repeat a command you just need to click on every other edge loop. Like this. Okay, so now just select these points. To select these points, what you have to do is you need to press Ctrl, drag your mouse, then press Alt. So whatever comes under this white box is going to get unmasked. Scale it down like this. To unmask everything, just press Ctrl and drag your mouse over the empty canvas, and then that's how you will be able to unmask everything. So now we need to just extrude these points. Okay, so we need to extrude it. Let's select this, and again to repeat a command you just need to click. Like this. And to turn off the wireframe, you can press Shift F, or you can just click on this Poly F. So that's my base. Now let's create the rest of the part of the well. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is first I'm just gonna create a duplicate copy of this one. Again, now I'm going to go under my IMM Primitive 14 brush. So to replace a subtool, you just need to make sure that your gizmo is active, and then you need to click on any subtool, any primitive shape. That's how you can replace the object. So I'm going to replace this object with cylinder inner. Rotate it and scale it down. like this. So again, select the subtool, create a duplicate copy of this one, and I'm going to scale down this one. So again, first let's switch to zmodeler brush, drag select this point, move it up like this, and we can rotate it to give it a little bit asymmetry. Let's do the same again like this, and we'll put this guy over here again. And I'm going to duplicate the entire stuff. So like this. So we have this thing so far over here. Okay, to delete the extra, you can say this frame, we just need to polygroup, auto groups, and then you need to press Ctrl Shift and click. To inverse the selection, you need to press Ctrl Shift and drag your mouse, and then let's say I want to delete this one as well. So I'm just left with these 4 parts, and then I can go under modify topology, and over here you can see we have this delete hidden option. So just click over here. So you will left with this part only. So let's increase the polygon count for this one. So how we can do it? So I'll be doing this dynamic subdiv. Press Shift and click and press dynamic. Right now you can see it's collapsing because we have no supporting edge loops. So we'll be doing it dynamically. So I'll be creasing it. So over here you can see we have this crease option. So just click on this crease. So now you can see we have our shape back. I'll increase it to, let's say, 4, and crease level I'm going to decrease it to 3, so I can have a little bit smoother edge over here. And I'm going to do the same thing for the base as well. First select the subtool, which is over here, dynamic, make it 4, crease, and reduce the crease level to 3. So we have created this much so far. So we have the base and the frame for the well. So now let's create the wooden part of the well. So to start, I'm going to select this polysphere 1. Now let's go back to our brush palette, select IMM Primitive 14 brush, and then I'll be selecting this QCube. Drag it. Okay, so you can see when I'm dragging it, it's not snapping it properly when I'm pressing Shift. So which means I need to reset the gizmo first. So press Alt and then click on this icon, and then you can click on this icon. And now if I press Q, or I'll go back to my draw mode, and now if I draw and I press Shift, you can see now it's snapping properly. So I need this in a separate subtool. So I'll go under the split option, split mask points. So now let's get back to our zmodeler brush. Now let's make sure that it's outside. So I'm going to move it over here, scale it down. Now let's scale it up properly. Okay, so I want the height of this object like this, and we can delete these edge loops because we don't need these edge loops. Hover your mouse over the edge, go to Insert and press Alt and click. So we'll be just left with this simple shape over here. Okay, to mirror this across the other axis, what we have to do, we just need to go under modify topology and mirror and weld, and we can activate the symmetry. We can go under transform, activate symmetry, so we can move it a little bit closer like this. So let's add some details into it. So I'm going to create a temporary polygroup over here, and how I can do it, I'm just gonna hover my mouse over this face, I'm gonna press Alt and I'm gonna click. Same for this part, click. And now let's just create this thing like this. Okay, so next step, I'm going to create this thing over here like this. We can have a little bit asymmetry as well, so we can do it manually. So next thing is, I'm just gonna create another, you can say, temporary polygroup for both the sides. And now I'm going to use Q mesh. So hover your mouse over this Q mesh and just click on this Q mesh, and you will see what's going to happen. So you can see when I'm dragging this across this, you can say, direction, so it's going to automatically, you can say, collapse into each other, and it's going to give you a little, it's going to give you this hollow shape. So now the next step is we just need to fix few parts. Let's say like this, and I can delete this edge, we don't need this edge, and I can just snap this guy again like this. Let's say hover your mouse over this edge. Let me delete this as well. So hover your mouse over this point, and let's say stitch to end point. Let's select this, and I can move it like this frame. So with this, you can see we can have different approach to create same stuff. So I could have just simply extruded this part, and I can just make it so I can just select the vertices and I can move it over here. Let's again do it over here. Okay, let's snap this one. Okay, so we have this thing over here. Now the next step is we need to create a frame. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over here and let's create another IMM primitive 14. Just select the IMM primitive 14 brush. Create a QCube over here. Let's select this. Move it to the position. Activate the local symmetry. Now we can keep the size bigger for this, you can say, frame, or we can make it small. Okay, so now let's just move it up. So what we can do over here is, let's go to our zmodeler brush again, select this, and we can go under split hidden, so we can just focus on this part. Okay, so over here we can do this, and let's do Q mesh. We can now change the angle as well from here to here. Okay, so now you can see my symmetry is working from here to here. So let's say I want to make sure that my symmetry also work from front to back. So we'll go under Z plugins, transform, and I'm also going to activate this, activate Z. So now you can see I can work with from here to here and from front to back. Let's unmask these points, and now we just need to change the direction to, let's say, like this. Right, so we have this frame over here. We can make it, keep it big. Okay, so the next step is let's create the other frame over here as well. So how we can do it, so I'm gonna just duplicate this one. Let's duplicate, and I'm gonna create a temporary polygroup over here. Let's see, over here. Let's go to solo mode. So I'm just going to create a temporary polygroup over here. And okay, before we do this, press Ctrl W to make it a single polygroup, and then just create another polygroup over here, the temporary one. Press Alt and hover your mouse over this face, then you will get this white polygroup. Press Ctrl Shift and click, inverse the selection, so you'll get this, and then you can just go under modify topology and delete hidden. Now we can just Q mesh it. Let's say this much is enough. So now we just need to merge them together. Okay, we can turn on the symmetry, and I can just do a mirror and weld, so it's going to fix itself. Under modify topology, mirror and weld, so you can see now we have fixed this. So let's move it, press Shift, okay, activate the symmetry first and then press Shift, and we'll make it like this. Mask this point and move it a little bit like this to give it a little bit more, you can say, detail. And now let's just create the frame. So again, to create the frame, we just need to duplicate the frame. So select the frame, duplicate it, go to solo mode, select the faces, activate the symmetry. So we have this thing. Again, before create the polygroup, press Ctrl W to have it a single, to make your object a single polygroup. Control click, so you can see we have the temporary polygroup over here. Control Shift and click and reverse the selection, so now we'll just left with these white groups, and we can just go over here and we can just say delete hidden. Q mesh it, and we don't need this. Let's turn off the symmetry. New polygroup, inverse the selection, and we can just go and say delete hidden, because we'll be doing the mirror and weld thing. So let's just fix the gizmo and move it over here like this. Okay, again I just need to work on this side, and I'll be doing a quick mirror and weld to the back side as well. So let's just go over here and delete hidden. Like this, and then I can just put it over here, move it like this, and select the points, and we can move it over here like this. And we can do a quick mirror and weld. Turn on the local symmetry. Now do mirror and weld. Okay, so now you can see we have mirror and weld across the, you can say from x positive or negative x, from negative x to positive x. So now we need to make sure that we can do the same for the z-axis. So over here you can see in the mirror and weld option we have this little x, y and z. So just click on this z-axis as well, and now again do a mirror and weld. So you can see now we have this thing over here. Turn off this because we don't need it anymore. And let's create a temporary polygroup over here, and let's say Q mesh, press shift, and we can just fill it up properly. So we have no space. Let's activate the symmetry, and we can just reset the gizmo and move it up. Not too much, a little bit. You can move them down again. So we have this thing over here. Right, okay, so we're gonna keep it like this for now, and let's just create the bar itself, or you can say the handle through which we can just take out the water from the well. So select this wooden plank, or this wooden, you can say, object over here. Let's go to IMM Primitive 14 brush, and I'll be creating the simple cylinder over here. Let's just drag. We can turn off the symmetry for this one. Turn off the symmetry. Let's duplicate this one. Replace it with the cylinder. Let's use our zmodeler brush. Rotate it. Scale it down, and we can do this. And now we can create the handle. For this it's quite easy, we just need to hover our mouse over the edge. Create a new polygroup. Go to extrude, polygroup all, extrude. Create a temporary polygroup. Let's go to solo mode so we can work on this properly. And we can extrude it. what we can just do is we can just press Ctrl Shift. Before we do this, we will go under auto groups. Okay, so we have created with this one, right? So let's get back. We can just create it more faster. We can go with IMM Primitive 14 brush again, and let's use this thing. Let's drag, and we can just place it over here. So now if I come out from solo mode, we have this thing. Create another cylinder inner. And we have this thing over here. So now let's just quickly create the rope. To create the rope, it's quite easy. We will be using this Helix 3D. Select the subtool, scale it down, rotate it like this. We need to scale it down properly. Or what else we can do first is we can just delete this one. We can first initialize this helix by going under initialize. We can reduce the coverage. Thickness we can say like this, or we can control the thickness. Okay, let's see, we need to work on the radius, so reset the radius. Okay, let's just reset it properly again, or we can just reinitialize this one. Let's say we need consistency on this one. So now we are satisfied with this one, so it's a Helix 3D 2. Select our well again, go to append, and we need to find this second one. Rotate, and we just need to place it. Like this, and we need to rotate it. We can shrink it a little bit if we want, like this, and we can scale it up. Let's go to solo mode. Let's get back to our zmodeler brush, and we just need to create temporary polygroup, and we can just extrude it. And we are done. We can just go to dynamic. We can crease it if you want to crease this. select this thing, dynamic crease, make it 4, level let's say 3. Have to do the same stuff over here. Dynamic, make it 4, increase it. Okay, so that's how you can quickly create a simple weld in ZBrush using zmodeler brush. I hope you like this video. Let me know if you guys have any doubts in the comment section, and have a good day guys. Thank you.